Imagine a place where the sun kisses the ocean and nature's magic comes alive. Welcome to Costa Rica, a place where adventure meets serenity and every moment feels like a new beginning. Embark on thrilling excursions like horseback riding to hidden waterfalls, where the beauty of nature takes your breath away. Feel the rush as you conquer jungle trails on an ATV, discovering hidden gems around every turn. Savor the flavors of Costa Rica with fresh local cuisine that will leave you craving more.
All right. I am leaving the doctor's office with my daughter. We'll take her to the grocery store. Y'all, it is pouring rain out here, and we need it. So I'm not mad about the rain because we need it. If you would have seen the amount of pollen that was in the air everywhere, all over everything, like we desperately needed this rain. Now with this rain came some cooler temperatures because it was 85 yesterday, day before yesterday, and right now it is 53. So that I'm not loving because I literally packed up all my coats and had my daughter pack up all her sweats yesterday. So I'm not loving the fact that, you know, this light jacket is what I got because the temperature went down drastically in 24 hours. But we needed this rain because pollen was everywhere. I was washing and rinsing my car every day. It was just everywhere. But anyway, let me jump into today's conversation. And I'm going to preface this. By saying there's some people out here that are not going to like it. And the people out here that aren't going to like it is the people that it's about. Those of us who are not this, we're going to be just fine. But the rest of us that might have some of these tendencies, we're not going to like this conversation. But I feel compelled to talk about it because I'm seeing this out here. I'm seeing it like out here in the world, like as I move about. I'm seeing it online. I'm seeing it on social media. And it is toxic black women. That's like a whole thing. So it's problematic because it is strengthening the stereotype. That's my main problem with it. My main problem with it is that it is strengthening, it is giving power to the stereotype in which, whether it's people of other races, whether it's men of our race or other races, but all it's doing is strengthening the stereotype that black women are difficult and they are hard to deal with. They are dysfunctional. You know, they have these incredibly high delusional standards, right? So that's going to always be my issue, is that, in my opinion, it makes all of us look really bad, right? And a lot of us are not that, but it makes us look really bad. It really, really does. And I've been saying this for a while. That it is the minority of women. I don't even believe it's the majority of black women. I think it's a minority. Now that minority may be growing, but it's like those of us who are not that, it's like nails on a chalkboard for me, because I'm like, why you gotta be like that? Like, why you gotta be like that? Why you gotta act like that? Why you gotta talk like that? Right? And then if I say that, I get talked about like, you know, well, look, so I'm gonna give it to you from several angles. Because I've gotten all of these angles. I've got. And it's sad. It's just beyond sad that this is what we are doing. All right, I'm going to drop you at the door but take an umbrella because it is pouring down rain out here, y'all. It ain't no drizzling. It is pouring down rain. Okay, I'm going to drop you at the door. Try to get as close as we can. Because my goodness, it is pouring down rain. Okay. All right, y'all. Okay, so let me give it to you from a couple angles. Okay? Let me give it to you from a couple angles. You have the single black woman that, is out here loving life, right? And she is traveling and she is, going to brunch with her girlfriends and getting her hair and her nails done and, all the things, right? And she considers, a good time with her girls, going out and cackling and being loud and getting drunk. She considered that a good time, right? And cutting up and twerking on tables and all of that. That's just having a good time. Like, that's what that's called. Having a good time. And why y'all gotta, rain on our parade? Why you gotta say something? Why you gotta complain to the manager? That's just called having a good time. Okay? And forget the fact that you are out in public, right? Forget the fact that you are in a public establishment acting like this, cussing and being loud and belligerent and drinking too much. Forget the fact that you out in public, because it's one thing to do that from the comfort of your home, right? You can invite your girls over. Last weekend, I invited 8 girlfriends over to my house. We had a candle making brunch. No alcohol was served, okay? Even though I told them, I said, hey, if y'all want to drink alcohol, you're going to have to bring it because I don't drink like that. I don't drink at all. But no alcohol was served. And a good time was had by all. We had good food. We made our candles. We had great conversation. But that was in the privacy of my home. So I just want to understand why we have to go out in public and act like we don't have no home training, drink too much, twerk and dance on each other and smack each other's behind and all of that. What's the point of that? Make it make sense to me, okay? So that's the first thing. But I get called a fuddy-duddy or old or I don't know, whatever the young women, I get called all kinds of, well, you just old, you don't know how to have fun and this and that, blah, blah. Okay. Because that's what y'all consider fun. Okay. Again, why you can't do this in the comfort of your home where you can be whoever you want to be. You can drink as much as you want to drink and do whatever you want to do. But you want to go out in public with this behavior and feel away when people say something about it. That's the kicker to me. You feel away when people complain or they say something about it. We're the problem. Okay, so that's your first type, right? That's your first type. Then you have the type that, again, I don't know if it's because it's public. Maybe that's what's rubbing me the wrong way, but they want to publicly comment. They want to make videos and release them to the public. They want to be on TikTok and Instagram and such. And they want to talk mess. They want to talk mess about a certain type of woman. They want to talk mess about other races. They want to talk mess about men. Right? And let me tell y'all, ladies, the videos y'all are making about the no good man. You're no good man or a no good man, right? Just, the videos we talking about. All right? Because you made the wrong choice in a man, and now we all got to know about it. We all got to hear about it. He got to get called the N-word multiple times, and you got to tell us all that's wrong with him. Forget the fact that this is who you chose, and you make these videos And then when I say something, oh, here I go, you know, and you know, what's wrong with using the N word and blah, blah, blah. And I'm trying to be white or some other race, you know, and this, what? So having home training, acting like I got sense on the other side of my door, not going out in the public looking a certain way on the outside of my door. That's called being white or trying to be something other than black. Like, can I be real? Because, yeah, I'm from a different generation. Y'all know that. I'm from a different generation. But the one thing I will say about my generation is we had pride, and I mean healthy pride. There were certain things we did not do and did not want to be associated with. Okay? I did not go out in my pajamas or my slippers. I did not go out with a hair bonnet on or my hair tied up. I'm trying to fit. What is the point of that? What are we saving the hairstyle for if it's not when you're on the other side of your door? It's one thing to be in your house that way, but you're now on the other side of your door and you still have your hair wrapped up and the bonnet on or the hair wrap thing. What are you saving the hairstyle for? Because you're not wearing it out in public and you're not wearing it out in your house. Okay, never you mind. But we took pride in our appearance. We took pride in acting like we had home training. And I'm going to say this so y'all know how I feel about it, okay? And then we're going to be done with it. But the use of the N-word, like, why? Please make that make sense. And calling yourself a bad bee, a hoe, what, huh? Make that make sense to me. I've never gotten it. And hey, maybe I'm an Oreo or whatever you want to call it. I just don't get it. I don't get using degrading terms to express myself about me and other people of color. Like that's self-hate in my mind. Why would I call myself the N-word? Why would I call myself a bad bee? Why would I call myself a hoe? Like, make that make sense. It don't. It's degrading. And why would I do that to myself when I got people of other races that do that already? I mean, like I said, maybe I'm old school. Maybe I'm from a different generation. But yeah, calling black people the N-word, like I said, I just don't get it. I never have. And again, let me go here, okay? The use of profanity, like, let me go here. If you don't already know, like, I'm educated, I'm book smart. I've read books, probably thousands and thousands. I got thousands of books in my home alone. But when you think about the education I've received and just the books that I've read, thousands and thousands and thousands of books, like I actually know other words other than the 5 or 6 profane words. So I don't need to rely heavily on profanity. Like I don't need to use those words to express what's in my mind. My grandfather used to say, you know, that people who use profanity, that was a weak mind trying to express itself, that it don't know any other words. So that's why they rely on profanity. So that don't make no sense to me either. And then y'all say, well, we took these words and we took the N-word back and we made it our own. And that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. That don't make no sense, y'all. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. That we've taken it back from our oppressors and we using it and it's a term of endearment and all this other dumb stuff. That's the psychological, like, brainwashing that y'all tell yourself. It don't make sense. You should be better than that. Okay? But yes, I believe these women are still in the minority, but they are making all of us look real bad. Real bad. And then when you say, you know, this is why y'all are the least chosen woman, You're the least chosen on dating apps. You're the least chosen at, y'all get all up in arms. You feel away, but you have got to start looking at yourself. Look at yourself and your own behavior. Okay, I'm gonna give y'all an example. I had an acquaintance. I'm not gonna call this person a friend, an acquaintance, someone I knew that I tried, because she was always complaining, y'all, always complaining about how bad the men are out here. She can't find no decent man and da 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 da. The craziness. So she's complaining about the horrible men. I try to hook her up with a guy friend of mine who is a Sigma male, who's a good guy, right? But look, y'all, he ain't street, he ain't ghetto, he ain't like, he not trying to he ain't using the N-word. he not cussing every other word. His pants ain't sagging off his behind. He actually dresses like an adult male, okay? Not a teenager. And look, I sent her a picture of him, I sent her several pictures. I said, hey, just to not make it awkward, I said, we're going out to this after brunch event, this day party event. Just come, just come and join us. I'll be there. Other people will be there. It won't just be you and him, because I didn't want to make it awkward. Number one, so we all went out. She didn't show up. So she didn't show up. That to me was an easy setup. Number two, then she gonna message me. So I'm messaging her while we there. I'm like, yeah, we here now, this and that. You should pull up. You should come by. Well, he looked corny. What the girl say on the Pop the Balloon? He looked like he read books on vacation. I can't make this up. Y'all. And you wonder why people don't want to deal with you. You wonder why you are the least picked of all the races of women. He looked like he read books. He looked corny. He looked passive. And look, my friend was like, this is why I don't deal with them. This is why I don't deal with them like that, like talk about. And you know what, y'all? I couldn't refute it. Like, what was I to say to that? Here it was playing out in real life in front of my face. I couldn't refute it. And for the record, this is a good looking dude. 6 feet tall, homeowner, has a full-time job. Like, this is a good look. I was just floored. I was like, wow, like, this is really happening. I was like, wow, they not wrong. This is really happening. So yeah, y'all, I don't know what to say, because some of y'all are your own worst enemy. And then, like I said, you pick the worst of the worst men, and then when that man show up horrible, you act surprised. Like, can you believe he's cheating on me? Can you believe he won't work? Can you believe he driving my car all day? Like, huh? But these are the dudes y'all want. So make it make sense. These are the dudes that y'all want. This is what makes your vagine wet. Okay? This is what y'all are attracted to. So it's the contradiction for me. It's the contradictory nature of, I'm not attracted to a good dude. I'm not attracted to a man who actually would make a good husband, who would make a good boyfriend. But when I get the dude that I'm attracted to, I complain about him. Like, that don't make no sense to me. That don't make no sense to me. It just don't. So, okay, I gotta look at the comments now that I'm parked. I'm just lost. Like I wouldn't have believed it if I didn't see it with my own eyes. I wouldn't have believed it, because I'm thinking, oh, I'm a good black woman, and I want a good black dude, and I love a man that read. I love a man, and I love a man that read on vacation, right? I love a man with a full-time gig and some benefits, and a homeowner, and 6 feet tall. Like, what? I wouldn't have believed it if I didn't see it for myself. That's the truth. Okay. So Crazy T says, yep, true. And no matter what you tell them, even if they went to therapy, it wouldn't help. They are headstrong and set in their ways, and that's the reason they will die alone. OnlyFans, traveler at another man's expense. Animalistic characteristics. Woo, Lord. Yep, and they keep running into the same man that mirrors them. Ignorance attracts ignorance. Now I might have to agree with that. I might have to agree with you there, because to me, you're right. It is a mirror of who they are. And then look, in their head, they think they are 10. Like, that's what's funny. They think, like, I need y'all to hear this, and it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt some people to their core. Women think that the vagina that they own, right? They think that that's the magical, mystical thing about them. That because they are the owner of a vagina, they think that's the magic. That's the miracle. That's what makes me, because a man don't have that, and I as a woman have that, and they think that's the secret, is I own a vagina. And that ain't the secret, sis. Okay? There's a whole lot of other women out here that also got a vagina. They come standard. But women in their delusion think that because they are the owner of a vagina, that's it. That a man should want me for no other reason than I got a vagina. Lord. She said, I agree. Because they are unorganized and don't believe in time management, their hairdo ain't did. They be rushing out the house with that chicken scratch under that bonnet. But y'all, this is what I want y'all to know. Because like I said, there are women that they have their hair wrapped, like their hair is wrapped under the bonnet or is curled up. It's got something in it under the bonnet. But I'm like, okay, what are you saving the style for? That's I don't understand that. Like, that's the part. Terrain, good morning. He said Lupe Fiasco made a song called Bitch Bad that broke down the psychological conditioning that created the current situation. Okay, I got to listen to that. Good day, evolving _Lulu 74. That's cool. Okay, but if you call a man a cork soaker, he won't like it. A man a cork soaker. I'm not sure what that is. You haven't done your homework. He didn't start nothing. Lupe F wasn't the first rapper to do it. It's rappers before him that had derogatory words in his songs. Fiasco just added to it. Okay. If all a woman meets is trash men, that's her level, and she hasn't accepted it. Same with men who only meet crazy women with no class. Agreed. And y'all don't want to accept that. You don't want to accept the fact that that is you. You are meeting the male version of you, and women will not accept that. And again, a woman will put on makeup and hair and lashes, or she will, in my opinion, put on a degree. She will put on a car or a home or a job title. And she really thinks that raises her status up to a place where, and I'm like, sweetheart, the inner work, right? Nothing disappoints me more than seeing a person, let me not even pick on black women, a person who has an education, who has opportunity, who finds themselves in rooms with people who are about something and they use the N-word. Make that make sense to me. Or every other word out of their mouth starts with F or MFer. Like, what, my mind can't compute that you went through all of this only to talk like this and dress like this and look like this. Y'all, I have doctors. I have attorneys. People who've spent thousands and thousands of dollars educating themselves only to talk like a ghetto hood rat. Like, oh my God, why? Why are we doing this? It's not computing to me. It's not. Lord. I had a woman actually say that to me once about the book reading. Yeah, because Anita, it's still in her system. Till she get therapy, she will keep the same mindset and behavior. I mean, y'all, I'm going to invest in cat breeding. The market is going to soar. A lot of sisters aren't cultural and immature, and she would have been out of her element. So she came up with a deadbeat excuse to not show up. Y'all, it just don't make, but like I said, I see these women. I see these women at events. I see these women at their colleagues. And it's like, why? You went through all of this. You educated yourself. You got this job. You got this. And it's like, but your mindset didn't change. You're talking like this. You're dealing with this certain dude. Like, what? I'm floored. But it goes to show that this stuff is deeply rooted in the psyche of these women. Because I don't care what flight you on. I don't care what trip you take. I don't care what car you drive. I don't care what your title is. Like, it's low vibrational. It's low vibrational, period. I don't care about any of that. And they don't want the sensible guy to see their flaws in the relationship. They think he will constantly correct her. I mean, he will. He will. He's going to, again, he's going to be a mirror. He's going to mirror back her nonsense, her ratchet ghetto ways, and oh, well, what's wrong with you? Why are you trying to be white? Why? Make this make sense. Because I have self-respect and dignity, because I don't go around calling myself the N-word or calling other black people the N-word or calling myself a bad bee or a hoe or all that other stuff. That makes me white? Do y'all realize that there was a time in our history where black people, we were proud people. We were proud people. We would never talk to ourselves in such a derogatory manner. That don't make you another race because you love yourself, because you have dignity. Oh my God, I just can't. I think it's about feeling above someone they can try to fix. Yep, rather than them having to step up for a good man. I agree with you. I'm beginning to agree with you. That these women, there's a fear. There's a fear of actually being with someone who is emotionally intelligent. That person is going to say, why are we using the N-word? I do it. I do it with my friends. I'm like, why are we cussing? Like, why are we using profanity? Why are we using the N-word? Why is every other word out of our mouth, MFer, F this, S, what? And again, here I go, trying to be white, trying to pretend to be something I'm not. You mean somebody with self-love and dignity? Somebody with home training? Somebody with respect? Somebody that's holy? Somebody that's truly Christian? Somebody that's like, huh? What? Yeah. And then look, if you don't get down in the muck with them, they will, make fun of you, right? I've had that happen many a time. They'll make fun of you. Your name is mud in certain circles. Yeah, she think, and look, this the only line they got. You ready? This the only line a lot of toxic black women have. You think you better than us. Baby, I don't have any more value than the next person, but here's what I do know. I'm different. Yeah, I'm different than you, all right, sweetheart. I'm different than you. I'm proud of that. Because I love myself. I have dignity and self-respect. I would never show up to some place on the other side of my door, looking the way you look, acting the way you act, talking the way you talk. And you think you disrespecting others and you disrespecting yourself. That's what you doing. Okay? Because it's in their bloodline, it will never leave. Robin Hood says, when I was in the streets, I had all the ratchets and I turned a new leaf and realized some of the intellectual women are starting to pick up the ratchet activities. That's what is mind altering. That's what's mind altering. And that's what I'm talking about. These women who didn't come from this. That is, I can't make this up. Women who didn't come from the ghetto. Women who didn't come from public housing. Women who had middle-class families, middle-class parents. And who are educated and went to school and because they want to be accepted, and y'all should already know, I don't give a fig about somebody accepted me. Okay? I will gladly stand out. I will gladly be set apart. God already told me that was going to happen. Stop trying to be like the world, Anita. You need to be different. You need to be a proper role model for what my kingdom looks like. So what I look like, calling myself a Christian, calling myself God's daughter, and out here calling men the N-word and using the MF and F this and this and that. No, that don't make no sense. It's gutter. It's lowly. I can't do it, y'all. It's like a ratchet spirit. Well, it's the Jezebel spirit, apparently, is what they're saying. In Atlanta, the dating pool is flooded with beautiful, educated sisters with serious neuroses who expect a man to be their unpaid therapist instead of their man. Wow. Just run away, run away. And yet they're better than you. That's what's wild. They will treat you like, boo, you better be lucky to be with me. That the woman's ego, I have made videos on this before. It is her downfall. A woman's ego is her downfall. Because like I said, they think because they have a vagina, that they, everybody should want me. Everybody should want me. And heaven forbid, if a woman who is a strong 4 has sex with a man who's a 10, and I keep telling y'all ladies, him having sex with you means absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. Tell me, rate the men that you have dated for a year or more. That's what I want you to do. That's when you're going to get a sobering reality. If you have dated, not been in a situationship, not been friends with benefits, you were that man's woman for 1 year, what is the rate of that man? Okay? Not men you had sex with. Because like I said, there's some 10 men out here that are asleep with a 4. They got needs. I'm talking about men that have claimed you as their woman. What is the average rating of that man? That's what they're not going to tell you, the truth. 3 minutes into a date and I'm playing therapist. Oh, Lord. Oh, my God. And I know y'all not lying. I know you're not lying. It's beyond sad. But like I said, it is the minority making most of us look bad. The ghetto characteristics will never leave. It's there for life. Even with a degree, they have to keep changing and wearing different hats, and also don't want people that they know to think they are corny. I'm corny, y'all. Okay? I'm corny. I'm square. Every day, all day. It's a whole lot of things you ain't never gonna catch me doing. You ain't never gonna catch me with no titty tattoo. You ain't never gonna catch me with no tramp stamp. Okay? You ain't never gonna catch me going to church with my cleavage all out and a big old slit up my dress. Okay? You ain't never gonna catch me with no 4 or 5 inch nails with the glitter and the colors. No. You ain't never gonna catch me doing that. Okay? You ain't never gonna catch me on the other side of my door. Or, let me go here. You ain't never gonna catch me on this camera looking less than what I look right now. Because in my world, as soon as your image becomes public, whether it is online, whether I am on the other side of my door in public, to me, this is called public. So you see how I'm talking to you right now on this camera? I'm in public. I consider myself to be in public in this very moment. So even women who are doing lives with the bonnet on, doing lives, from their bed with but I don't do that. I'm different. I'm different. If I am in the public eye, there is a way that I want to be seen at all times when I'm out in public. Now, if you my man, if you my kids, if you my mama, if I'm at home, that's different. But it's like there is no self-respect. There's no dignity. It's crazy. You gotta love, Neek says, because you enunciate your words and don't curse. I've been told I talk white since I was in elementary school and I still hear it. Oh my God. And why y'all attribute indecency to being white? What is wrong with you? When you don't even know your own history, you don't know who we are and what we did and what we came from. That's what's so wild. Y'all attribute having honor and decency for yourself and your fellow man as being white? Really? Get out of here. They worry about what people think, bottom line. That's not acting white at all. However, it's such a thing as acting white. It is real, but it's thrown around without cause. Well, I would love to know what that is, because I get money. I talk like I got sense. I love God. I treat my children with dignity and respect. I treat my body with dignity and respect. I don't consider none of that acting white. Yes, that's it. Thank God he made me different. Yep. That's why therapy is important. Corporate trainings and conflict resolution. Dennis Bullock 96 said, you better preach. Thank you. We got to understand that the current ghetto is not a result of oppression. It's a result of people's choices. Exactly. And please stop bringing up slavery. If I hear one more black person talk to me about slavery and systemic racism and I'm just sick of it. I'm done with it. What you need to do is educate yourself. Go back to Africa. Go all the way back and see who we really are. Y'all literally took this piece of time to explain all of the toxic stuff y'all are doing now. Go back before we got on the ship. Who were we before we got on the ship? And what did we create over there on the continent of Africa? That's what you need to do. Look at that time. Look at now, like right after Jim Crow. Look at the Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and all the brothers. Look at the things we did to come out of that. Y'all just want to focus on this one piece of time. And that done stamped us forever. Well, then what is the point then? What are we doing? If you're sitting here telling me that slavery has ruined all of us, it's in our epigenetics and this is how we are. Then what is the point? What is the point? Because last I checked, it happened. It happened. It's in our bloodline, but you're not going to sit here and tell me that my history, my kids' history, my grandkids' history is defined by that, because it ain't. Ain't nobody in my family doing bad and out here slanging crack and selling their body and nobody in my family. Do you know no one in my family has been incarcerated? No one. Okay, on my mama's side, on my daddy's side. Ooh, let's go here. Nobody. My mama got 10 brothers and sisters. And now one of them been incarcerated. My daddy got 17 brothers and sisters. A lot of them halves, but none of them been incarcerated. Like, huh? No, it is possible. And maybe it's not possible for you, and that's what's holding you back. But it is possible to make something of yourself. I told a young black brother just today who tried to give me the slavery excuse and the man excuse and them having their foot on his neck and this why he can't do this and this why he can't do that. And when he got out of jail and this, baby, I said, sir, I have empathy for all of that. And at the same time, I'm gonna tell you with the same mouth, there has never been an easier time in history than right now for you to become a millionaire. Never. The fact that I'm talking to you on this device, the fact that these platforms send me a check every month for me talking to you, for me sharing knowledge with you, the fact that you could do it too, like, I really ain't trying to hear that, sir. The fact that, you can learn a trade, you could go to school, you can learn computers, you could start a business. Like, I ain't trying to hear that, sir. And yet you stuck on this period of time. And that's the reason why you can't get nowhere. I'm not trying to hear that. I really ain't. Sex and love aren't on the same planet. Thank you for your perspective on social media. Thank you for watching. Okay, I think I reached the end. Oh no. This needs to be taught in high school because they are attracted. This He said, no, you're not, Anita. You are a great person. Thank you. What women don't understand is less is more. You can be alluring without everything on the street. Please tell somebody that, because they really think that you got to spend money on it's crazy. The hair, the nails, the lashes, the BBLs, the surgeries, all the things that you need, all the designer clothing and this, they really do. They really think that, okay. The only way a bonnet is acceptable is if a hair shop owner is going live and promoting their shop with customers in the background. Them folks in Palestine literally getting bombed and still have solid family structures. We walking around here and don't have that. It's just so messy right now. It's messy. I don't know. And I don't understand what happened. I don't understand it because I didn't come up like this. Like the community raised me and the community ain't play, y'all. Like the community ain't play. Like Miss Johnson up the street was going to get you. Then when she sent you back down to your grandmama, she was calling her on the phone and then your grandmama got you. Then your mama got you once she picked you up from your grandmama. Like, what has happened? One could argue we are the slaves because the generations before us dressed better, behaved better, and had more businesses. That's why I said I don't know what's happened. Because that's all I know is home training. Okay, it's tail whooping and home training, like, and the community raising you, and the community all believing in the same thing. All the people in the community believe the same thing. If you take a person out the ghetto, they will find themselves crawling back. Yep, they get bored in the suburbs. The ghetto is fun, which is why the suburban girls take trips there on the weekend to hang. We created productivity. We built this planet. All resources come from Africa. So many of black people do not know that Africa is priceless. That's why prejudiced people in their country still deal with Africa. And look, y'all, they got trips going to Ghana. They got trips going to certain countries. And they said Ghana is like paradise. There's stuff going on in Africa right now that will wipe Black America off the map. The businesses and all the resources, like it's out of this world. But y'all over here struggling. Man, the parents got soft. Always blame the parents. Y'all. But look, this is what I tell the gentlemen. I'm not mad at you. Okay, let me just say this. I'm not mad at you if you've gone elsewhere. Okay, I really am not. Because like I always tell y'all, you know, if a black man ain't interested in me, okay, I ain't interested in him. Like, I'm not mad. I'm not mad if you've gone elsewhere. I'm not mad if you've been turned off. I get it. I think it's unfortunate because it's it's perpetuating a stereotype for all of us. Right? And then a black man will meet a woman like me and he'll be like, like, okay, this is different. Like, yeah, because, you know, all of us are not like that. Okay. Real Dope Daddy says the reality is you were better off coming out of slavery than today. Think about it. You left slavery with skill in a trade and wanted to work hard. These folks today don't want to work and have no skills. I just don't understand it, y'all. He said, me, my cousin, and two of our friends skipped middle school, and a neighbor saw us walking around. We got 4 different butt whoopings from random sets of parents. Yeah, that's all I know. That's all I know. Right? And now that will be seen as abuse. That people have problems. But like I said, the world is a very different place. I recognize that. And yet it makes me sad because the people it's producing is god awful. It's like, and think about it, y'all. I said this last week. I said, when you are creating a child as a means to get money from a man, think about that. A woman laying down with a man and getting pregnant on purpose to get paid. That child is born into trauma, born into everything wrong. Think about that. Everything that's wrong, that child, what else could it be? What else could the child be if it's born into something so twisted, something so sick? You think about your Erica Mena and Safari, two toxic people coming together and having children. The child don't have a chance. It don't have a chance to be anything. But that's what's happening. Children aren't born today out of love. They're born today out of trauma. They're born today out of boredom, for money. The oops baby is at an all-time high. Our people, our people don't plan their children. I plan to have all my kids. Like, that's the saddest thing of all. And I get called white. I get called white because I actually use family planning. Lord. Crazy T said, yep, Anita, me and your upbringing and my parents' upbringing was raised by the village and got our butts whipped from the village. And when we got home, that's it. That's all I know. We have so many distractions in our community. And in this era, we won't see the major changes. It will happen, but not during our lifetime. Yeah. In that situation, it's on men to take precautions. A lot of men out here moving like protection hasn't been invented. I agree. And look, y'all, these cases, these celebrity cases, these sports cases of them getting these girls pregnant and one dude trying to pay all the child support all at once, baby. And let me say this, if I was that young man's mother, like, again, I can't, what can I say? You out here moving like that? And this dude got 3 women pregnant in 1 year. So, again, that was a perfect case of a certain type of man meeting himself in female form. They came together. The woman got pregnant. Like, that's a perfect example. He met himself in female form. He met the same toxic person in a female. We have women that were raised in millionaire neighborhoods using the N-word, which that is like mind altering. I'm talking black military dad served 30 years and married an Ethiopian woman, but their daughter feels the need to be ratchet. Baby, you're a biochemist, chill. Lord. 23 years old, Lord. It's sad. Like I said, but I'm sorry. I'm going to speak about it. I'm going to call you out. How you feel about looking. I get called all kind of names. I'm old. I'm white. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm this, I'm that. Baby, you're not hurting me. Okay, I'm built different. All right, I was born in 68. I'm built different. Okay, who you think? And look, they'll try to get me in the comments, right? They'll try to come back and forth with me in the comments. By the second time I come back, I done hurt their little feelings or triggered them. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you could take it as well as you can give it. Like, that's what be tripping me out. They shut down after the second time that I come back because I thought you could take it as well as you could give it. But, see, like I said, baby, I'm born in 68. I'm built different. I actually use this, sweetheart. I use my brain. Okay. I know how to put sentences together. And then when I do that, they shut down. They get triggered. See, Don't come over here, okay? Because I actually use the mind that God gave me. I'm a critical thinker, okay? I got some next level snappy comebacks, okay? So don't do that. Don't do that. But y'all, I'm going to stand on this. Now, this day may come where I may have to take this back. And that day may be sooner than I anticipate. But I still believe those women are in the minority. Okay, so just like the rah-rah alpha dudes or wannabe alpha dudes, I think those men are in the minority. Just like I say, most men, good men, sigma men, you got some beta men, you got some delta men, some gamma men. I think the women is similar, right? You have good sigma women. And we quiet, we mind our business. We're not dancing on tables at brunch. We're not getting drunk or high. We're not going on the girls' trip. Dressing crazy and slapping each other on the behind and dancing in Miami on yachts and all. We're not doing that. Like, we're not doing that. Okay? And for the most part, we mind our black magic girl business. But like I said, I'm gonna stand on, I think this is the minority of women I don't think the majority are doing all this, just like the majority of women don't have OnlyFans. The majority of women are not posting thirst traps on social media. Most of us, we just looking to see what other people are doing and minding our business and talking like we got sense and acting like we got sense. Now, I could take that back any day. As these women start coming out more and more and more, I could take that back. Yep, a basketball player and a rapper got the same chick pregnant, and the ball player agreed to give her $1 million for the kid to cover the child support throughout the kid's lifetime. Okay, Robin Hood said they are in the minority. I do think so. I'm gonna stand on that. And like I said, y'all know I could change my mind, and I do. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm gonna come back and say that. But right now, I still believe that most black women have sense. Act like they got sense. They not out here talking crazy and acting crazy. But y'all, the minority, that's what's got everybody feeling away. Like, yeah, we got to go overseas and the passport bros and this and that. But that's not the majority of women. You let the small minority of women on social media or in your neighborhood or in your city, turn you off to all women. And that's unfortunate, but you know what? I get it. What can I say? What can I say? So, ladies, like, I ain't gonna get a whole lot of comments from the ladies, okay? Because if I'm talking about you, you already feel away. You already feel away. Like, I can't believe Anita called me out. And then if I ain't talking about you, I mean, you may have something to say. And the most of the comments is gonna be from the men. And the men are going, say, yep, she not wrong. Like, she not wrong. That's what's going to happen. But we have to wake up. I had to wake up to the fact that, that women's ego and this idea that because I'm not that way. Oh, these men are exaggerating. No, they're not. They really not. It's a thing. It's a thing. And for the good black girls out there, the good black women out there, you're going to have to come to realize that it's a real thing. It may not be what you're doing, but there's women out there doing that. They are out here acting a plumb fool, and don't act like you don't see them. You do see them. When you go out, you hear them, you see how they dress, you see their foul mouth, you see how, calling people ins and all. No, you see them. Like, you do. Okay, so let's not act like you don't. You do see them. All right? And they making it hard for all of us. They giving all of us a bad name. It's like Chris Rock said in his stand-up, they are black people and they are ends. Okay? So, okay, and you know what I'm talking about. All right? He said we could argue that fellas need to step up because it's lonely at these galas and art exhibits, black men. The ones with sense aren't being talked about. We aren't that entertaining, I guess, LOL. Yeah, the black women. Yeah, you're right. I don't, people talk about me because I'll say things that other people are afraid to say. But if I wasn't doing this, wouldn't nobody say nothing about me. Most of these men in my city are not checking for me because I'm boring. I ain't got no drama. I take care of mine. I be out in my garden. I be planting my vegetables and planting my hyacinths and taking my dog to the dog park, right? And keeping a low profile. So, yeah, it's true. It's true. The women behaving badly get all of the attention. So, yeah, gentlemen, stop rewarding bad behavior. Stop following them. Stop liking their posts. And that's a part of it too. There are men out there that do reward these women. And so, yeah, they're going to keep cutting up. They're going to keep posting stuff for attention because y'all like it. So, yeah, that's all. It's funny how the good black women never see the ratchets. No, I see them. I see them. Yeah, I saw that Chris Rock stand up when he said that. Yeah, I see them. I see the ratchets. And I'm just like, oh, my God, why we got to do this? And every time, why we have to do this? They can't call them out or they'll be labeled pick me, sprinkle, right? those aren't the men you want, sister. If they can't see your quality, that's on them. And that's how I feel. So that's a lot of men. A lot of men don't want peace, They don't want, goodness, because again, they don't want that, because now that they'll feel a way. So I've already come to terms with that. So, all right, y'all. I have to make this members only because, like I said, I already know. I already know several black women that if they see this on my YouTube, they're gonna lose their mind. They're gonna report me and lose their mind and try to get my channel taken down. So this will be members only over on YouTube. Consider joining the YouTube channel. Consider becoming a member. Okay, so you can see content like this, members only. I'm not reposting any of this content on my Instagram, but if you go over to YouTube and you become a member, you can see all of my content there in full. Sometimes I will give you a snippet here on Instagram, and then at the end it'll say, hey, if you want to watch this whole video, head over to YouTube. So that's what I'm going to suggest that you do, okay? He said, remember when grannies would check the young ladies about their blouse and skirts? We need them back. All right. So my YouTube is at Better Love Movement. If you just put in Better Love Movement over on YouTube, mine will pop up. Okay. They don't want the plant-based milk. They want buttermilk. Lord, y'all. Thank you, Robin Hood, for buying a badge. I appreciate you. And then also, I want you to remember that it is April, and I announced on April 1st, it is not an April Fool's, but if you would like to have a free 30 days over at my school, it's called Single Seeking Soulmate. All you have to do is email me at info@betterlovemovement.com. I will send you an invite. It will welcome you into the program, into the school, and you have 30 days to look around. You have 30 days to go through all of my course material. My course is actually being created every single week. My course is actually being created. By this time next year, we will have an entire year's worth of content over there, my Relationship Skills 101 course. So if you want to come into the school and just check it out for 30 days, send me an email at info@betterlovemovement.com. Please like this video. Please share it with anyone you think could benefit from it. And I thank you all so much. Thank you, Robin Hood, for buying a badge. I appreciate you all. Have a great day. Enjoy this rainy day. I'm going home to do paperwork and make myself a good meal, but enjoy this rainy day. And as always, stay open to love.